most receiving first downs and touchdowns by a tight end before age 25. This is since 2006. And you have Mark Andrews, Ravens tight end, way up there. Number 2 is David Njoku, and that's a little bit of a surprise. T.J. Hawkinson from the Lions, Noah Fant, young ascending tight ends, really well thought of. Njoku's a little bit of a surprise that he's number 2 behind Mark Andrews.
Yeah, and you think about where he's at in Cleveland. He's been around for a long time. He's 2017 draft class, and he's produced. He probably hasn't produced the way that most Browns fans want, and I'll raise my hand. I wish he was a little bit more productive too, but you look at that, and he's done pretty darn well for himself. I happen to cover T.J. Hawkinson with the Lions. He's a great player. That guy is a star in the making, and you got David Njoku above him on the list. There are times when, and we've seen it, we saw it when he got in the Jets game where he got hurt a couple seasons ago. They had no answer for him, and he does still provide that in the red zone. He's the guy who can extend up vertically and get open just by jumping up and making fantastic catches that other people can't make. They've added Austin Hooper, they added Harrison Bryant. Those are talented guys, and Njoku sort of gets lost in the shuffle a little bit, and he had the whole trade me, don't trade me type thing going on last offseason. That was entirely agent driven. I will not hold that against David Njoku. I hold that more against his agent. If you know who his agent is, you'll probably agree with me on that point too. He's a good young player, and we've been blessed to have him in Cleveland. I think is one of those cases. I don't know if they're going to be able to afford to pay him and keep him, because I think, based on what they've got around, he's the guy that's most likely to go and get a big contract and cash in somewhere else. And we're going to watch him blossom into a 100-catch, 1,000-yard receiver someplace else. We're like, God, why didn't we appreciate what we had when we had him? Because he's been – do we want him to be better? Yes. But he's been really good, folks. And his blocking has gone up so much. That's something that I know that we talk about in Brown's Twitter a lot, is how much better his blocking has gotten from when he came here from Miami to where he is now. The enthusiasm and zeal for which he blocks, that gets lost in the shuffle too. This is a really good tight end, and as we talked before the show, he is still so young. My goodness, he's still an ascending talent. It would be great if we could lock him up, but it doesn't. There's going to be so many hungry mouths to feed, and they've got some tight ends that are in position already who are talented. It's going to be hard to watch him go and be a really key player on another team. Where he's going to be more important to another team, quite frankly, than he has been for the Browns. And that's, it's a great problem to have, the fact that they can't afford all the great young talent. And it looks like he will probably be one of the guys who gets away, unfortunately. But, I do hope that Browns fans take an appreciation for how good he's been, even though he hasn't necessarily lived up to the expectations a lot of people have for him. And do we want him to play better? Yes. Yes, we do. But he's also proven that he's been pretty darn good, too.